Good evening. I'm Tim. Isn't it strange, old friend, that people should be afraid of the dark? These fears might be justified away from home, where the dark may hide an enemy or a hazard. Yet the fear is carried over to home, is sometimes stronger at home, even though enemies are locked out, hazards are known, and there is no need to rush through the obstacle course left by poor housekeeping. Perhaps, my friend, they are afraid of loneliness. To be alone is one thing, but to be alone in the dark is to be utterly lost. So they recruit a lamp for a friend, and a book, radio, or television for conversation. They sit contented until the electricity runs out. Then they become overwhelmed and desperate. Have you considered why this is so? Are people such poor companies that they even bore themselves? A misanthrope may say so, but I am not such a cynical creature. You and I have observed most people take the same measures to avoid boredom as they used to avoid the dark. Might darkness and boredom be related? Siblings in psychology? I believe so. I have met few who have cultivated a fine appreciation of darkness and boredom as I have. Boredom especially is highly underrated. Without boredom I would have no ideas. The rush of work, the diversion of a book, show, or conversation, these are not the times to think. Boredom is what a thinker needs. Oh, yes, you're right, my friend. I'm using the wrong word. Inactivity and solitude are what I mean. Like others, I confuse the words in my own mind. I ought not to have done so. I know my own mind. I am more easily bored with an activity I do not like than with doing nothing at all. So now we have three things to scare others: darkness, inactivity, and solitude. Put them all together, and you have bedtime. Have you ever wondered at all the people who fall asleep listening to the radio? Some psychologists, mostly amateurs, but some professionals, claim that these people are afraid to be alone. Yet what is there to be afraid of in that? At home, in familiar surroundings, with locked doors, a soft bed, perhaps a trustworthy bed partner, there is nothing to be afraid of except one's own thoughts. Those nighttime thoughts. One lies awake, staring at the ceiling. Perhaps our nighttime thinker is thinking about the project she got roped into 2 years ago. She doesn't regret it, but she still wonders if she made the right choice. I am no more afraid of my own thoughts than I am of you, my friend. Occasionally it takes me a couple of hours to get to sleep. During this time I sometimes worry or fret about my condition in life or feel lonely, but usually I just think. Thoughts such as these I put down in these videos pass through my head. Without thinking, I would have nothing to do while lying there, and it's a pleasure to do it. I don't have to be alone to be lonely. Sometimes I stand in a crowd and see not a single friend, as welcome as one would be. Even amongst friends, I sometimes realize that they are not like me. The loneliest feeling of all arises when I am within arm's length of a beautiful woman and cannot reach out to her. I cannot find the words to tell her how I feel. One or two of my competitors are there as well, talking twaddle that I don't care for, although she does. Yet alone in the dark, she is mine. That is how, my friend, you came to be here tonight.